Now, I think most of you understand that when it comes to Islamic banks, a lot of our deposits are very chunky from corporates, from government agencies and so on. And those rates, when they all move in tandem, on block effectively, we've seen that increase quite tremendously, including asset managers who've been asking us for higher rates.
You see a lot of that liquidity also being driven by the fact that you have foreign funds that have come into Malaysia, right? Some of them have now exited the equity market, but they may be putting some of that money in, I would say, MGS, the Malaysian government securities. So we actually have seen yields come in quite a bit.
Now, Standard 62, the one that is in draft format, if it's really translated to what it is implying to, it's going to change the credit profile for the instrument from being a senior unsecured to an asset-backed securitization.
As Bashar was saying, we have been seeing a lot of new investors this year, but we expect the market that were parking cash on the short term, which is our scope, to gradually deploying again to the long end.
Now, what's driving the trend? I think that's partly due to the fact that in general, based on historical data, these private alternative investments have been able to offer a higher return for investors, albeit the long fund lockup.
Diversity of Islamic finance markets in the world, because understandably the OIC countries where you expect Islamic finance to be more prevalent, the developmental stages of these countries are really varied. So within the World Bank, we have OIC countries at the very extreme end of low-income countries, and then you have very sophisticated countries like Saudi Arabia.
It was very insightful. We heard a lot from the panelists from various perspectives, from the local asset managers as well as from the international perspective. I think we have learned a lot in this session, and we also get some insight on the future direction as well. So that was very useful.
The World Bank is very happy to support this event. Islamic finance is a key financial sector in our development programs. In many countries here in the region, Islamic finance is seen as an instrument for financial inclusion, and it's also increasingly being used to advance funding for the climate agenda. So I'm very happy to hear the panel speak, the private sector speaking on this front.